Hello, my name is Brent Gove, and I could not be more excited to share with you this new model for real estate called EXP Realty Worldwide. The success of EXP now has become a multi-billion-dollar company, publicly traded on the NASDAQ, and its success is basically being undeniable. Everybody wants to know about EXP, so I get the privilege of sharing with you today all about it. Now, before I do, briefly, I'd give you some background on me. I promise to be brief. I got started in real estate 25 years ago. I was 30, a little quick math, you know I'm 55. And my first 12 years was at RE/MAX. Wonderful experience, loved that company, a very positive experience. In 2009, I made the change after 12 years to Keller Williams. And of course, it was just, I liked it even more. Nothing wrong with RE/MAX, but my experience of Keller Williams was even better. I didn't think it could get better than RE/MAX, but it did. Keller Williams was amazing. I put 8 years in there. I was a team leader. I ran a large office in California. And then, about 4.5 years ago, I get a call from a friend of mine telling me all about EXP Realty, all excited, wanting my opinion. Maybe like you have a friend who said, give me your opinion about this new model that is going to revolutionize the way real estate is done worldwide. By the way, we're in 19 countries with the filming of this particular business briefing on EXP. But I said, tell me all about it. I knew I would not be interested. That I can promise you. And at the end of this business briefing, I'm like, how do I know more? And hopefully that's going to be you. You'll do your due diligence. You'll check it out like I did. So here's the deal. The key to every successful business is that special human being that comes along, like a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs or a Richard Branson or possibly a Henry Ford. That person who comes along and just lights the world on fire. And that person, of course, is this gentleman, Glenn Sanford. In 2009, he founded EXP, and he had an idea about how to do real estate, as many before have. But his company is now the fastest growing real estate brokerage in the world. It's not a franchise, it's a national and international sensation. So what is EXP all about? Well, the best way to explain that to you is the whole Blockbuster Netflix. This is a perfect analogy. You take Netflix, they went to Blockbuster, who, by the way, put Hollywood Video out of business, and they put together all the mom and pop shop videos companies out of business. And you know what they did? They said, look, we can deliver the product better, more efficiently to the consumer at the click of a button. And I remember as a consumer thinking, I don't want to watch a movie on my phone or my laptop. I want it on a giant 80-inch screen TV like this. I thought Netflix was a terrible idea as a consumer. Well, thank heavens that Netflix didn't listen to me, and they tried to sell their idea to Blockbuster. Blockbuster said, we'll pass. We are the 800-pound gorilla in the marketplace. We determine what happens here, and they were completely dominant with thousands and thousands of locations worldwide. So they made the biggest mistake of their life, and they kind of poo-pooed, put down, said it'll never work. And of course, we all know the end of the story. Within 5 to 6 years, Blockbuster was filing for bankruptcy. And then, of course, Amazon. Look what Amazon did to retail worldwide. I mean, the largest company in the world. EXP is now doing this in the real estate world, and it's for the better. It's for you. It's totally for you. And so even this Tony Robbins noticed, Hilton, he noticed that the cloud-based model is a superior model. Look at Hilton Corporation, been around for 100 years. And then Airbnb, guy has an idea, kind of like Glenn Sanford. He starts Airbnb 10 years ago, and the company was valued at $31 billion. Now this picture is a couple years old. Last time I looked, Airbnb was valued over $100 billion. Pretty amazing. Well, Hilton, they own real estate, very much bricks and mortar, very much not a cloud-based company. Their valuation's gone up to, last time I looked, about $25 billion. But look at that, 10 years versus 100 years. The growth is in the cloud-based sector. Look at Uber, look at DoorDash, look at Zoom. Look, again, we talked about Amazon and Netflix and Travelocity, the travel industry, digital downloads, iTunes. You get the idea, Pandora. Life as we all know it is changing. And so What is this cloud campus environment? Well, basically there are no desk fees, and I paid desk fees for 20 years at the big brokerages. It cuts the overhead of a traditional type of office. We put our money, EXP, into lead generation and technology to support the agent to make a difference. So, I want to cover this. Everybody thinks if I go to EXP, I'm going to be working from the cloud. No, EXP works from the cloud. They have over 1,000 employees worldwide that live in the cloud, work in the cloud. You will work at an office. We have a Regus Alliance, and there are 3,000 Reguses and spaces worldwide. I mean, Chicago, Paris, New York, San Diego, San Francisco to Miami, South Africa, Europe, everywhere you go. In Sacramento, where I'm from, there are 8 Regus locations. So I didn't lose 5 Keller Williams offices. I gained 3 additional locations, and they're typically nicer, beautifully decorated, fully staffed conference rooms. It's amazing. So you will not be working from home. You will have office space, and everyone gets a Regus membership at no cost to you to go into a Regus and work in their cafes and their places of business, Wi-Fi, coffee, the whole thing. Now, what else do we have? Well, we have 4 main pillars at EXP. Number 1, leads. That's pillar number 1. Number 2, training. World-class training. Number 3, stock. This is agent-owned, broker-owned. We own this together. That's a big deal. And finally, number 4, because you're an owner, you get to share in the revenues. I knew in my 12 years at RE/MAX, I did not share in the revenues of RE/MAX International, or my 8 years at Keller Williams, I did not share in the revenue of Keller Williams International. And if you're at Coldwell Banker or Sotheby's, you know what I mean? So here's a chance to own the company you work at with the founder and share in the revenues. But let's get down to the first pillar, leads, because that's really what agents want. EXP has formed a joint venture, a partnership with KV Core. You can Google them, YouTube them, watch some videos on what KV Core is, but it's a CRM, a contact retention management for clients, and it produces leads when you learn how to use it. Like a farmer, like someone with an orchard, you want to grow your real estate business. If you're commercial or residential, you want to grow and prosper. And so this CRM through KV Core is incredible and helping agents dramatically with additional buyer and seller leads in residential and commercial. And so beyond leads, what do agents need? They need training. They need world-class training. And the same great trainers that were at RE/MAX and Coldwell Banker and Sotheby's and Keller Williams, those same great trainers are at EXP. It's the same or better. Everyone's so excited. In my opinion, it's even more powerful. So we have world-class training. We have 10 to 15 classes a day in the cloud, 10 to 15 live classes a day. You can raise your hand, ask questions. I've spoken to thousands of people in the EXP Cloud campus at one time. And these happen all this. Commercial real estate, there's luxury real estate, there's residential real estate, how to build a $100 million sales team, dominate your market with social media, business planning for 2022 or 2023. There's so many great topics on how to learn how to sharpen your axe, how to become more powerful in real estate for your families. And so we have that. We also have live training. We have, this is in Sacramento, California. We've rented some of the largest halls. This is a wedding venue. We packed out with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agents and broker associates, and we're training on lead generation. So this is pretty cool. The third pillar is what? It's called equity. Something I didn't have. You know what I had after 12 years at RE/MAX? And I'm grateful for RE/MAX. I had trophies and plaques. Trophies, plaques, recognition, right? Can you relate? I don't know what brokerage you're at. Hey, you're number 7 in the region. You're number 3 in the office. Oops, you moved up to number 2 in the office. And now you're number 1, and we're trying to, sell more, do more, be recognized. But what are those trophies? What are those plaques? What is that worth when it's all done and said? You know what I had to show after 12 years at RE/MAX? Nothing. I moved companies. I closed out whatever I had in escrow, which, by the way, were 37 listings in active escrows. Closed them out. Moved to Keller Williams, and that was it. It was like pulling your finger out of a glass of water. Water just goes back across. It was like I was never at RE/MAX. I had nothing to sell. And that's what it is like for 99% of all agents. I go to Keller Williams, same thing, 8 years, won awards, this, that, won trophies and plaques and recognition. When I left, They have a program called profit sharing. And so I had a little bit of profit. I think I was averaging $700 a month, in all fairness to Keller Williams, after 8 years. But we can all agree that $700 a month isn't going to change your life. And I had enrolled 55 agents for Keller Williams because I was a very happy Keller Williams agent. I'm very grateful for Keller Williams, an amazing company. And I literally sponsored 55 agents and said, come to Keller Williams and prosper and grow. And that was generating me $700 a month. And at one point, we were the #1 office in profit nationwide, Roseville, California. But it was making $700 a month after 8 years, just kind of weekend fun money. So that wasn't going to change my life. But this whole equity piece, wow. Let me explain how it works. There are 5 ways to develop equity or stock in EXP, equity, to become an owner. A rising tide rises all ships. Not just when I was at RE/MAX, I watched Dave Liniger become a billionaire. When I was at Keller Williams, I watched Gary Keller become a billionaire. Maybe you were at Coldwell Banker and you watched them sell that to Realogy, a $1 billion hedge fund. Maybe you're a Berkshire Hathaway person and you got bought up, and who owns that? A billionaire called Warren Buffett. Stop working for billionaires. You know, you're as good as your last sale. How many you got in escrow right now? 3? You got 7? Oh no, you have 19. I get it. No, you have 49. I had 55. I had 55 in escrow at one point. Ask me what I get paid today for that. Nothing. I can answer that. Nothing. Whatever you sold 3 years ago, 7 years ago, 15 years ago, you don't get paid today. But if you can own a piece of the brokerage you work at, a significant piece, a brokerage that's going into multi-billion-dollar valuations, which we are. Look us up. We're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. Last time I looked, over $6 billion, and I get to be a part of that. That's pretty exciting. So here's how it works. When you close your first transaction at EXP, you get awarded stock. You become what's called a shareholder. You get to share in the equity of EXP with the founder, Glenn Sanford. That's pretty cool. Number 2, when you cap, we have a $16,000 cap and an 80-20 split. And then when you cap, you go to a 100% split. Most of our agents who are productive cap in the first month or 2 or 3, which means they're at a 100% split for the next 10, 8, 9, 10, 11 months. We cap in the first month every year. And we're at 100% for 11 months. And the most EXP gets is $16,000. It's like that for everyone. Now, it's not the lowest cap in the marketplace, but it's certainly not the most expensive cap. It's competitively priced. You get a lot of value for your $16,000. Next is when you sponsor people, when you tell people, like, and this happens at all companies. If I were to go to Century 21, people can see, why are you at Century 21? I'm like, oh my gosh, because of this, this, and this. I go, you know what? Maybe I could use a change. Do you think your manager would talk to me at Century 21? Sure. Why do I know this? Because this happened to all of us. You could work for Compass. You could work at Sotheby's. You could work at Coldwell Banker. I'm 2nd generation and my kids are 3rd generation. My folks put 55 years in real estate. The last 25 years at Coldwell Banker. And guess what? Marge Anderson referred them to Coldwell Banker in 1983. Ask me what Marge Anderson got paid for 25 years. I'll answer. Nothing. 0. My friend, Mike Pushek, my neighbor, went to RE/MAX back in 1999. And within 4 years, he was selling 330 homes a year. Pretty awesome. RE/MAX was so excited. They're like, Brent, thank you for referring Mike. He's amazing. Guess what? Ask me what I got paid. Nothing. RE/MAX got paid 330 times a year. Now I realize that's a good story, but how many of you referred a friend to your brokerage and they sell 20, 30, 40 homes a year, much more normal? That means your broker got paid 20, 30, 40 times a year. What did you get paid? Nothing. Stop trading the cow for magic beans. The referral of the agent or broker associate into commercial EXP or residential EXP is invaluable. How would you like to get paid almost every single time they sell a house for the rest of your life? That is what EXP is about. That's why people are so excited. So you're going to, every time you sponsor someone, you enroll someone for EXP, you tell them about it and they join, they say, yeah, I'm here because of Brent, I'm here because of Rob, I'm here because of Cindy or Tom or Karen. You become what's called their sponsor. And when they close their first sale, you get a stock award. My first year, I won 51 stock awards. The previous 20 years, 0. I won trophies and plaques and recognition, but that is not worth a lot. Next, we have our Icon Agent Award. And what that is when you basically cap, you cap at 16,000 paid and you do 20 additional sales. For most agents in the country, it means you sell 28 to 30 homes a year. For most agents. Depends upon your market, the price of homes, but most agents means you sell 28 or 30 homes a year. And what happens there is you win a $16,000 stock award. So if you pay in $16,000, then you receive a $16,000 stock award. What did it really cost you to be at EXP? I mean, think about that. So our first year, we went to EXP. I capped in a month, because we sell a lot. And then guess what? We did 20 additional sales. And a few months later, we got a $16,000 stock award. And someone said, but you don't know what that'll be worth in 3 years because there's 3-year vesting on those stock awards. I go, you're right. But I know what the trophies and plaques were worth after 20 years. Nothing. I'll take my chance with this penny stock. Well, during that time, we went on the NASDAQ. We became a publicly traded company on the NASDAQ, and the stock exploded. And that stock award became worth, not only was it worth 16 3 years later when I finally invested and I could sell it, it was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Pretty cool. Finally, we have our agent equity program. And what the agent equity program is, you can enroll, it's optional, but you can take 5% of every closing and purchase EXPI stock at a 10% discount. Go talk to a financial planner. They go, give me your money. And if you want to, medium risk, it should be about a 10% return at the end of your first year. How'd you like to get 10% day one? That is our agent equity program. It's optional. You don't have to do it. I don't know anyone who's not taken part of that. Then we've just seen this. Look at the history of our stock. It's just incredible. It's one of those unicorn moments in the world. It's like that Facebook, that Amazon, that Google moment. And it's in your industry. You're a commercial real estate agent. You're a residential broker or residential agent. This is in your field. This is for you. And so finally, we have revenue share. Now, what revenue share is, it's what got me excited. The truth, everything I've told you, I wasn't excited about. Everything I just told you, I went, okay, yeah, that seems nice. But I wasn't fired up. I wasn't like, it didn't ring my bell. This blew my mind. Literally, I couldn't even sleep. So let me explain to you what revenue share is all about. We have a 7-tier system that our founder, Glenn Sanford, copied from Keller Williams. Keller Williams, the largest real estate company in the world, they have a 7-tier system that they do profit sharing through. And if the office is profitable, you can get some profit share. Well, I had referred 55 people who they told people, and they told people for 7 tiers. I had hundreds in what's called my profit sharing tree, and it was paying me $700 a month. Okay, something almost made my car payment. I was like, cool, this is great. When I referred over 100 people to RE/MAX in my 12 years, because if you're going to do well in real estate, your family, friends, and relatives want to get into real estate, and they go, can I work at RE/MAX? I'm like, sure. I sent 100 people to RE/MAX in my 12 years, easily. I got 3 $10 Starbucks cards. 3! If you're going to do well at Sotheby's or Compass or Realty One or HomeSmart, wherever you are, your family and friends will join and you will probably get paid not much of anything forever. Again, stop trading the cow for magic beans. You know what's worth so much more than $1 million listing? It's the agent that produces millions of dollars in sales every single year. And you give it away for free. Like, here you go. Take my friend Tommy. He only sells 18 homes a year. What's he doing in sales? Oh, he's doing about 5-6 million a year in volume. And then whatever brokerage you sent Tommy to, they get paid on $5 to $6 million worth of volume year after year after year after year, and you get paid a big thank you from the sales manager. Man, we love Tommy. I'll bet you love Tommy. I'll bet you love him. And so here's a chance to be compensated from that. EXP believes you should be compensated. So here's how it works. These middle column here is worth, it adds up to the $16,000 cap. Our founder, Glenn Sanford, said, I'm going to carve off the first $2,800 if you refer an agent and they cap, which in most markets means you sell 7, 8 homes a year. That's it. The national average agent sells like 6. So it's a little bit over the national average to cap typically. You'll receive $2,800. What happens if they only do half a cap? Well, then you get half of the $2,800, you get $1,400. What if they only sell 1 or 2 homes, like a quarter cap? Then you get a quarter of this, $700. So they sell a home, you get paid revenue share the next month. Every month on the 22nd, you get paid revenue share. Month after month after month as that agent is at EXP. I referred agents 4.5 years ago, most of them, 90% of them are all still here. And I still get paid, not from the agents. When I had the team, I get paid from my agents, 50, 40, 30%, but I get paid from EXP, from their 20%. We have an 80, 20%. They share back to me how much? Up to $2,800 per agent. Let me give you a simple example. Someone asked me, he said, well, what if I told 10 agents about this? Well, and they all capped? Yeah, they all sold 7 or 8 homes. I mean, these aren't even highly producing it. They're not even making a living. If you did that, you get 10 times 2,800, which is $28,000. Well, that's not that much money. If I live in the New York or Manhattan or San Francisco, I can earn $28,000 and sell a house. Yep, but can you do this? If those agents stay next year, EXP pays you again. So you mean I get $28,000 the first year and $28,000 the second year? Yes. So now you've received $56,000 for referring 10 agents. What if they sell the third year? You get it again. The fourth year, you get it again. So when do I stop getting it? Never. It's written into our charter. If they stay 10 years, you would get $28,000 a year for 10 years, which is $280,000 for referring 10 capping agents. Again, in most markets, it's 7 to 8 sales. The average home price is around $400,000, and so it's, maybe 7 to 8 sales. I know in the Bay Area, it's 1 or 2 sales in certain places where the homes, San Diego and different places, it could be 2, 3 sales to cap. Now, let's keep going. So let's show you how this works. Let me show you a 5-year example of how this works. Now, keep in mind, every agent they tell, you tell 5 or 10 agents, they will begin to tell agents. You can't stop them from telling agents. This is how Coldwell Banker became Coldwell Banker. This is how Century 21 became Century 21 and Keller Williams and Sotheby's and Compass. If you like your brokerage and people are going to say, how do you like it? I like Compass. It's great. And they join Compass. How are you compensated? See, at EXP, we have what's called compensation for contribution. If you compensate to the growth of this company, you are going to be, if you contribute to the growth of the company, you're going to be compensated. So here's how it works. Everyone you tell is your tier 1. Everyone they tell is your tier 2. Everyone they tell is your tier 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Keller Williams created this 25 years ago. They've been doing profit sharing for 25 years, except their offices lately, if you work there, you know what it was. I told you what mine was. So watch this. Let me give you an example. If you tell 5 or more agents, it unlocks tier 2. If you tell 10 or more agents, it unlocks tier 3. 15, 20, 25, it grows in increments of 5. And then when you get to 40, it unlocks the 7th tier. So let me show you what happens when you just get paid on 2 tiers. So it's a 5-year example. You may do this in 3 years. You may do it in 10 years. It's just an example. I did it in 6 months. Again, this is an example. What I'm going to show you, I personally did in 6 months. Let's say it takes you 5 years. Let's say you tell 2 agents a year for the next 5 years. How many of you personally told? 10. You're now receiving $2,800 per agent. Tell agents to sell at least 7 or 8 homes a year that they're capping agents. You'll get the full $2,800. I didn't even talk to agents unless they sold 10 homes or more a year. So I made sure that I was getting paid $2,800 on every one. 10 times $2,800, there's the $28,000. Remember I said if they stayed for 10 years, that'd be $280,000? What I didn't tell you is they will tell other agents. Let's say the 10 that you sponsor here, that they tell 10. And if they all tell 10, and by the way, I told 10 in my first 2 or 3 weeks, and they all told 10 in 6 months. So it doesn't have to take 5 years. But let's say in your case, these 10 agents each tell 2 agents a year. 5 years later, how much will they have told? 10. It's a pretty dialed back conservative analogy. Well, guess what? 10 agents times 10 is 100 agents. Every agent on your tier 2 is worth $3,200. $3,200. So if you have 100 there, that's $320,000 plus your 28, that's $348,000 a year. So I was 51 years old. I owned real estate. I have stocks. I have different investments. I had nothing giving me $348,000 a year cash flow to retire. What is your 401k? When can you just take a breath and not work so hard? I haven't had to sell real estate in 3 years. I've been able to retire because of this model. So guess what? I'm showing you how to make $348,000 a year. By the way, I ended up telling over 40 my first year. So I was able to do this, and if you take 4 times this amount, it's $1.39 million. It's almost $1.4 million a year. And my second year, I earned $1.2 million. So I told 40, not limited. You could do as many as you want. As a Keller Williams team leader, I recruited 177 in 1 year, not 10. But that's you, Brent. You seem to be able to talk on camera. You seem to be able to present this. What if I help you? What if you hit press play? Well, this is a recording. I shared a video very much like this by a gentleman named Rob Flick. And I would press play and watch because I wasn't able to present it yet. And I shared it with 8 of my friends as a beta test. This is what I call a Save Me beta test. And I recommend you do the same thing. 8 of my best friends, all of them sold their franchises, quit their jobs as general managers for Remax franchises and general managers for Berkshire Hathaway, sold franchises, which shall remain nameless, but they sold them, big franchises you would know. Top producers, 8 for 8, all came to EXP. Do a beta test, show this to people. 2 additional points about EXP that it's amazing is, number 1, about a year and a half ago, Glenn passed the 50-50 initiative. And what the 50-50 initiative is, he guaranteed that half of all the revenues of EXP would go back to the agents in the form of revenue share. So at $2 billion, $1 billion goes to a company, $1 billion to the agents in the form of cash, spendable money revenue share. When we hit $10 billion, and we will hit $10 billion, $5 billion to the company, $5 billion to you, to myself, to the commercial and residential agents and brokers. It's going to be amazing. That is the 50-50 initiative. Very powerful. We're super excited about that. Now, one more thing regarding the $16,000 caps. I had buying agents that worked for me, showing agents. I also had some listing specialists that worked for me that took the listings that I couldn't handle, that were far away, or maybe I just didn't want to deal with. So if those of you out there that are watching this, or you're a brokerage and you have a team, it's half a cap. So your agents, all of my agents get to come over on an $8,000 cap. And they all cap in the first month or 2, but now they get health care through EXP. You got to pay for it, but it's a huge reduction. You get stock awards, you get revenue share, you get all the benefits, 10 to 15 live classes a day, and your agents are only paying $8,000 a year. Now, if you have a large brokerage team and of over 10, maybe you have 20, maybe you have 40. I just brought on 200 agents and brokers this past week myself, over 200 in 1 week. We see this all the time now. 1,000 in Poland, 800 in Nigeria, international growth. We're about to open those countries. We're looking at opening those countries. They get to come, if you're a large team, at $4,000 an agent, a quarter cap. So if you have a team of 25 agents, they pay $4,000. They'll pay it 80-20 split on a deal or 2. They're capped. And they get all the benefits. They're not treated less than, like they don't get stock, they don't get revenue share. They get stock, they get revenue share, they get all the benefits you and I get. But it makes it affordable for a large brokerage like yourself, or a large team like yourself, to come to EXP, and it makes it all work. And so who do you talk to? Anyone in the world. Anyone. Today, I have agents in all 50 states, every province of Canada that we're in, and 19 countries. Do you know that you know people who live in Israel? You know people who live in Portugal and Germany and Brazil and Colombia and Panama and Australia? I have agents all over the world. You could have the same thing. What's the potential growth for EXP? Well, I believe in the next 8 years, we'll open an additional 80 countries. We're in 19. 81 countries will bring us into 100 countries. Worldwide, they say there's 208 industrial nations, I believe is the number, and approximately 25 million agents and brokers worldwide. Nobody has the exact numbers, but if you dig around, you kind of come up on this 25 million. India, for example, has 2 million agents alone. The US and Canada have 2 million licensed agents and broker associates, commercial and residential alone. So in 208 countries, there are about 25 million. I believe that in the next 8 years, we're going to have 1 million agents in 100 countries. Right now, there are 66,000 of us. To put that in perspective, I don't think you get this. Remax, which is an incredible company, it took them 20 years to get to 20,000. Keller Williams, which is an amazing company, it took them 19 years to get to 20,000. EXP just went from 1,200 to 66,000 in 4 years. I'm telling you, EXP is going to change real estate as we know it worldwide, just like Uber changed the taxi cab business, and Airbnb is changing the way people find a place to sleep at night, and DoorDash is changing the way people get food, and Pandora and iTunes is changing the way people get their music, and Travelocity and Trivago is changing the way people get their airline tickets and their travel. The world is changing. It's going digital. Don't be stuck in a vinyl record cassette tape world. You need to change with it. You've got to change with it. When Henry Ford invited the Model T, there were I think, 600,000 horse and buggy drivers, and they were upset about the technology of that Model T, and it would backfire and scare the horses. But you know what? The automobile changed the world. Do not be afraid of technology. Embrace it. It is a good thing. So, here's a summary of what EXP is all about. We have no desk fees, no royalty fees, and no franchise fees because guess what? We're not a franchise. I worked for 2 of the biggest franchises in the world my first 2 decades. Decade after decade, I paid desk fees. Decade after decade, royalty fees and franchise fees. No more. EXP is a national and international real estate company. We just have a simple 80-20 split. Now, some of you are going to, I'm on an 80-20 split. I have 80-20 right now. Who do you work for? Berkshire Hathaway? Sotheby's? Century 21? Which franchise is it? Coldwell Banker? Oh, you name whatever one it is. Okay. What about that franchise fee of 6%? It's the same thing. Even right now, you're going, oh yeah. So really, you're on an 80-20 with the office, but a 6% typically will get paid out to the franchise. You're really on a 74-26. 26% of every check you get goes back to the big brand. You don't need the brand. You think you need the brand, you don't need it. At EXP, I broke all my sales records here, and it's an 80-20 split, no 6 or 6.9 or 6.7% franchise fee, just an 80-20. You're gonna make more on every sale for your family. This is about your family. The cap is 16. Once that's paid in, you go to 100% split right here. What are the startup costs? What are the standard fees? Well, it's a $149 startup fee one time. I paid that 4.5 years ago. $85 a month is our cloud brokerage fee. You get a Regis membership, you get a SkySlope, you get Breakthrough Broker, you get a database system called KV Core, a database and lead generation website. You get email, you get access to the cloud, the 10 to 15 live classes a day. Do the math on that. That's 40 to 60 classes a week. And then E&O, it's $40 per sale for your E&O. For commercial, it's a little bit more. I think it's $250 a commercial transaction. But for residential, it's $40 and capped at $500 a year. These are the fees. So as we close today, let me ask you a question. Where are you going to be in 5 years? What are you going to be doing? Commercial real estate, residential real estate, luxury real estate? You're going to be selling 40 homes a year, 80 homes a year? I know for myself, I was 51 years old. I knew that in 5 years I'd be 56 and I'd just be out there going on more listing appointments, going on more, working with my team. And it was great, but I didn't have an option. I didn't have an exit strategy. And without a dream, you can't have a dream come true. Without a plan, then you plan to fail. Nothing's gonna change. You've been doing this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Enough is enough. I wanna challenge you. Do your homework on EXP. Watch this webinar again. Someone's watching this with you right now. Go to your best friend, your best buddy in real estate, and watch this with them and get their opinion. I did that 8 times, and 2 of them were franchise owners. They sold their franchises. 2 of them ran big brokerages for, one was a general manager for RE/MAX, another one a general manager for Berkshire Hathaway. They quit their jobs. Every single one of them, big stars in real estate, they all 8 for 8 came to EXP. Show this to them. Say, I need you to save me from making a mistake. Do a save me beta test. I wish I'd done it 18 times. But go do that. And then once you decide I'm ready, go to join.exprealty.com and apply. Apply. Go through the application. What's the application? It looks like this when you get there. Right here. Some basic information. Within a day or 2 after getting checked out, EXP is going to send you an approval letter. What they won't do is they're not going to move your license. You have to move your license. They're also not going to contact your broker. They are not going to contact your broker. It's very private between you and EXP. But make sure you do this because when you're ready to join EXP, it usually goes like this. Okay, I'm ready. I'm listing 2 homes. I have a buyer. I'm writing an offer today. What happens is it takes 2 or 3 days to go through this process. And what happens is those listings get stuck at your old brokerage. That buyer gets stuck at your old brokerage. That could have been half your cap. So instead of being at 8, it's like your cap turned into a $24,000 cap from 16. So make sure you get this out of the way, prepare for success, and then finally, look at this. Our company is going global. We went on the NASDAQ. We became a publicly traded company. We joined Cisco. We joined Intel. We joined PepsiCo and Apple and all these massive, unbelievable companies on the NASDAQ. And we turned into a multi-billion-dollar company. That's your company. It's not Gary Keller's company or Warren Buffett's company or Realogy that owns Coldwell Banker, Sotheby's, Century 21, Better Homes, and 24 Other Brands. This is your company. You get a piece of it. You're going to build equity like a homeowner who buys a home or someone who buys a building, and you develop equity. This is it. That's what we tell our clients. Why are you not doing this? So I cannot wait to meet you someday. And this was a very exciting day for us a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, when we hit the closing button on the NASDAQ. We shut down the financial markets worldwide. It's an honor. They gave Glenn Sanford, America's newest billionaire. But guess what? While Glenn became a billionaire, many of us became millionaires. That had never happened before. So I challenge you, check out EXP. Once we pass the test, join us. We'd love to have you with us. I cannot wait to meet you. Get back with the person who had you watch this and say, tell me more about EXP. Do your homework. Do not miss this opportunity. This is a life-changing, world-changing, seismic shift in the way real estate's being done worldwide. Join us. There's 900,000 agents coming worldwide. Your timing couldn't be better. We got rid of the potholes. We got rid of the gravel roads. We've paved them. We just paved the on-ramp to the freeway. Enter you. Congratulations on your timing. I cannot wait to meet you.